Welcome back to DeKalb for the Class 4A state championship game between Althoff Catholic and Chicago Phillips. A good one in store for us. 3 teams already hoisting that hardware, if you will. We'll go through all of those teams and the winners there, as well as get you set for this game. It's going to be a good one tonight. We appreciate you joining us, and happy Thanksgiving weekend to all of you at home. We hope you're enjoying the football you've seen so far, and we've got one more here tonight. Of course, the Class 4A state championships, and then classes 5A through 8A will be coming your way tomorrow. If you haven't gotten enough football yet, let's take a look at that schedule. It's going to be a good one, starting at 10 a.m. Class 5A. Then at 1 p.m., Class 6A, followed by Class 7A, Glenbard West and Libertyville kicking off at 4 p.m. And then it's the 8A title game with Loyola Academy and Marist, which will cap off a great weekend of football for us here in DeKalb. A chilly weekend, and I have to ask the guys in the booth how warm they've been so far tonight. Dave Bernhardt, Mark Lindo, gonna have the call for us tonight. Guys, I hope you're staying warm up there.
Well, Kelly, in all honesty, I think we're doing a little better than you are. Thank you very much. It is that kind of night here, but it is 4A championship football night. And for the first time in 6 years, there is no Rochester in this state championship game. The 5-time defending champs eliminated by Belleville Althoff. Let's take a look at that road for the Crusaders. We take a look at the quarterfinals. It is that game. You heard Nathan Believa recap that one for you. The big one over the defending state champs. That set up their win over Mater Dei to get to this ball game here in DeKalb. And then for the second time in 2 years, the Chicago Public League, the top half of the bracket will be represented by the Wildcats from Phillips. Their wins over Geneseo and a huge dominating win over Marengo. So as you see those scores, you see a lot of offense. Althoff comes into this game averaging 48 points per game. Phillips 42, and I have to believe, Mark, this shapes up to be the most entertaining game of the entire weekend.
Dave, scoring will take care of itself tonight. You have explosive playmakers aplenty. Tonight it might come down to ball security. Who takes care of it and who can take it away? Turnovers may be important tonight due to the fact that both offenses can flat out get after and put points on the board in a hurry.
And those offenses start with their quarterbacks. Jordan Augustine for Belleville Althoff, he'll throw the ball.
Jordan Augustine is an all-stater. He can pass the intermediate route. He can go vertical. He can go deep. Last week he threw for 285 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the season, an astronomical 3,500 yards, 40 touchdowns. He's only been picked 9 times.
And for Phillips, he doesn't throw the ball much, but he is scintillating. That is Quavon Skeens.
Well, he's a UConn recruit, converted from wide receiver in the summer. They wanted to get the ball in his hands. He's dynamic. He's explosive. He's a speedster. 39 rushing TDs on the season, 1,317 yards, 12 pass TDs, Dave. That comes out to 51 touchdowns accounted for.
So it is Chicago, the Phillips Wildcats. It is Belleville, the Crusaders from Belleville Althoff. They meet for the 4A championship. That's coming up next right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to Husky Stadium here in DeKalb on Northern Illinois University's campus for your 4A state championship ball game. We've already had 3 games being played tonight. This is Class 4A. Let's take a look at the 2 schools that are involved here. First of all, from Belleville, the Althoff Crusaders, St. Clair County. They are members of the South 7 Conference. We'll talk more about their head coach, Ken Turner, in a little bit. The athletic director also doubles as the basketball coach, Greg Lieb. That will be significant a little bit later as well. And for Phillips, hailing from Pershing Road in Chicago, the Wildcats, enrollment at 559, playing out of that Chicago Public League. We have talked about how the Public League looking for their first state football championship. The principal, Matthew Sullivan, the athletic director, John Byrne, had a good story with their head football coach, Troy McAllister. So we have Phillips, we have Althoff, and it is your 4A championship game. Get ready for some fireworks. Coming up next, your 4A title game. Good to have you with us wherever you may be. I'm sure it is a little bit warmer than those folks in the stands, but for our two head coaches, they don't care what the weather is like tonight. They have a pair of 13-0 teams here tonight. First of all, for Althoff, there's Ken Turner in his 8th season, 56 wins, just 32 losses. He took a team to the state finals in Class 2A in 2012, finished in 2nd place that year. For Phillips, the Wildcats also 13-0. Troy McAllister is their head coach, the 6th season for McAllister. A 2nd place finish last year, losing to Rochester 49-28, a career record of 47 wins and 18 losses. And Mark, for Phillips, when Troy McAllister came, there were 12 football players in the school.
12 football players. Now there's over 90, and there wasn't a football to be found in this school. That's where he built this program. This is a Troy McAllister kind of night. You know, he's from Canada, and this is Canadian weather here in DeKalb. So a good picture of him, and this is nothing to what he played in college.
Phillips won the toss. They want the ball, and as you would suspect, either of these teams would love to get their hands on it in a hurry. As we said, they combined for 90 points per game throughout the course of this season. Two teams that have not lost, Phillips and Althoff, 13-0, and they're playing for your 4A state championship. It'll be the first time in 6 years that a team other than Rochester will claim this title.
I think we'll see some explosive plays tonight. Explosive plays are defined by plays more than 20 yards. We'll see a bevy of those tonight.
Kadir Weatherly along with Quavon Skanes will be deep for Phillips. It'll be Stone Galloway that'll put this game in motion. Short. And a fair catch called, and that's where the Phillips Wildcats will start. That fair catch called and made by Jermaine Broadnax. There is Quavon Skanes. Not big passing numbers. Mark said he was a wide receiver last year, though he has thrown for 12 touchdowns. But look at those rushing numbers. 32 touchdowns on 1,300 yards.
Well, he is going to play some zone read offense. He'll make some decisions at the line of scrimmage when he sees the defensive ends, when he sees the tackles, when he sees the linebackers. And when he tucks it away and makes a decision to run, he can break off long ones in a heartbeat.
You see Kamari Mosby almost 10 yards off the ball. He will get the first handoff. Mosby with electrifying speed, and they will drive him back. And speaking of Mosby, here is that starting offensive unit led by Skanes and Mosby, Kadir Weatherly, Jermaine Broadnax, along with Gaddafi Green. Your wide receivers, Donald Gardner, a great defensive back as well. The offensive line, they have come so far this year. Stevens, Johnson, Lee, Strong, and Tyson.
Mosby averages 10.8 yards per touch. Another kind of explosive running back.
He'll get it again. Around the edge, he is met and driven down. Short gain on the play. Good pursuit. Number 5 there is Bryson Strong. We'll be calling his name a lot. And as we take a look at that Crusader defense, Andy Tate, Devin Nash, and Christian Wills up front. Wills a bull, according to his coach. Javon Mosley, along with an inside linebacker duo of Branson and Strong. The secondary of Brown, Colden, Williams, and Brock Stefan Belt, an outside linebacker. C.J. Colden going both ways for Althoff. 3 straight snaps, 3 straight carries to Kamari Mosby. Why not? Mosby with 2,246 yards this season and 18 touchdowns.
Just a little zone read right there up front. Nice individual tackle at the point of attack by Colden.
4th down and a yard here for Phillips, and they will go for it early. Skanes trying to get the Crusaders to jump. They will not bite.
3-4 defense by the Crusaders of Althoff.
Mosby will drive forward enough for that first down. He was hit first by Trevon Mosley.
So Althoff was a 3-4 defense. They brought all 4 linebackers. When you're guessing run from a tendency standpoint, you come with inside blitz. They did just that, but just enough push at the line of scrimmage by the big front guys of Phillips, a big, strong, physical front line to move the chains on the 4th down conversion.
Our running team, but Skanes will throw, and that one just bounces in, not even close to his intended receiver in the near side of the field.
So the move to Skanes from wide receiver to quarterback came in the summer during the 25-day contact period that IHSA allows. And what they want to do is get him more involved in the offense. Instead of just a few touches a game, they want him to have the ball just about every touch.
We will see the other quarterback, Jabari Gibbs, a little bit later. There's a Stop for a loss. Once again, it's Trevon Mosley. But back to your story about Skanes, they really believe Jamori Gibbs is a quarterback of the future. Just a sophomore, struggled a little bit in the summer, so Troy McAllister called Quavon Skanes into his office and said, well, he said, I've got a choice for you here. Would you like to touch the ball 10 times a game or 50 or 60? Skanes made the obvious choice. That's why he takes a snap right there. A lateral to Mosby, and great pursuit from that Crusader defense.
That's when you get a linebacker on the outside. The 3-4 gives you an extra guy out on the field side, and you have a little bit of room for linebackers to make plays out in space. A good one right there, individual by Melvin Brock.
Brock with a couple of interceptions in the second-round win over Quincy Notre Dame. So in offense, or defense, we should say, for Althoff, they've given up over 23 points per game. Xavier Nash to punt, averages 38 yards per kick. He'll be kicking into a pretty stiff breeze here. Fair catch is called, and it will be time for the Crusaders to get their hands on the ball following a 24-yard punt. Here's an offense that averages 42 points per game, 338, make that 226 yards passing, 270 in the air, as Jordan Augustine, 3,500 yards, 40 touchdowns to go with only 9 interceptions.
Well, Althoff has 2 1,000-yard rushers, 2 1,000-yard receivers. We'll be talking about a 3,500-yard passer. That's big time.
And you will see this field spread. The 4 wide receivers for Althoff, 4 starters on last year's second-place Class 3A state basketball team. Augustine to the air in a hurry. He has his man. It is Jordan Goodwin. He's the star of that basketball team. Goodwin, 16 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Crusaders.
Little play action pass, a little skinny post to Goodwin, who you mentioned. He didn't play as a freshman. Then he missed things. He wanted to come back out. The fake handoff draws a lot of attention on play action. Nice release by Goodwin. On time, on target was Augustine for the first completion of the game. Move the sticks.
In 2 games in the state finals in basketball last year, Goodwin 41 points and 26 rebounds. Highly recruited basketball player. They will get the ball in the open to one of the 2 running backs that will alternate every play. There you see Jalen Bester. Bester will leave. Coming in and taking his spot every other play will be Malik Easley. And all these guys have done, they've each gone over 1,000 yards. How about this offense? 2,000-yard rushers, 2,000-yard receivers, and a 3,000-yard quarterback.
That's an awful lot of real estate. 5,000 yards or 7,000 yards you just talked about. They can do it in a hurry.
Wide open is Keenan Young. A flag is thrown as Young goes down to the 20. Young, 72 catches for almost 1,100 yards, headed to Jackson State University. A 21-yard pickup. Let's see what the flag is. Against Phillips on the face mask.
So you have the completion, plus you're going to tag on 15 more on the personal foul.
Number 2, 5-yard penalty. First down.
This is a quick offense. Not just fast, but quick. They will hit you in a hurry. There is Keenan Young, All-Stater. Again, another one of the basketball starters.
In the pistol formation, a 2-step drop after that, so about 7 yards. You saw the face mask coming to your screen.
On the delay to Bester, Jalen Bester, 1,318 yards. He averages 9.9 yards per carry. Bester has his 1 play. He will go to the sideline, easily to replace him. Easily with 1,100 yards, checking his wristband, number 23, Easily the 5'10" senior.
More of a powerful type runner. 97 yards last week, semifinal win.
Augustine. Touchdown to Goodwin. But a flag is down. It will be a penalty against Phillips, so give credit to Augustine, his 41st touchdown pass. It goes 13 yards to Jordan Goodwin.
Well, 6-3, they found inside release again. That's the third post pattern they've run off play action.
Ineligible receiver, downfield offense. Number 2, 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
All right, initially the pointing was going to the Phillips side, but there are our officials. Congratulations to these men who have earned their spot here. Ross Sells, you just heard from him. Joseph Ewers, Randall Turner, Chuck Mallard. Your back judge is Michael Hans.
That is a correction because that's not the way the initial signal was given.
So this backs it up to the 18. Second down and 13. So Goodwin has that touchdown pass called back. Crusaders right back at it. Augustine threading the needle. My goodness. Jordan Goodwin catches that ball under pressure from Kenneth Sanders, 9 yards on the game.
That's the 4th time he's been targeted. He's caught all 4. The one came back because of the penalty. Just locked in right there. Augustine throws that ball where only Goodwin can go get it. And they expected Ken Turner did some man-to-man coverage against Phillips there, getting it and taking advantage of it. Great one-hand catch. Pulls it into his body. What a great piece of camera work with the right hand extended, then pulls it into his stomach for the grab.
Augustine looking in the end zone. Another great catch. This one by C.J. Colden. And a touchdown for Belleville Althoff.
C.J. Colden, that's the 5th consecutive with the penalty post pattern that they have hit hard on all off play action. Ken Turner calls him their best all-around football player because he plays both ways. 4 catches, 92 yards in the semis, and a touchdown catch on his first target here tonight in the 4A championship.
Stone Galloway coming right at you, and it is a 7-0 Althoff lead. The Crusaders taking it right down the field, led by Jordan Augustine. Augustine waits. There's Colden. Crusaders on top early. Belleville Althoff, first time they touch the ball, they take it. The touchdown pass from Augustine, his 41st touchdown throw of the year. He went to C.J. Colden, his 13th catch, his 66th reception.
All Augustine was on that drive, Mr. Bernhardt, was 4 out of 4, 55 yards and a touchdown, and every one of them was right where his player could catch the football, but where the defense could not defend inside of it.
Again, the Crusaders want to take no chances on a long return, and great coverage by Althoff. Phillips will take over at the 23-yard line, down by a touchdown. 55 of those 61 yards, Mark just said, coming from Augustine, the last 9 to C.J. Colden. Ken Turner has that offense cooking early.
Ken Turner showing a lot of emotion on the sideline. He's pretty juiced right now, and so his team. He should be. They get a good stop on the first series, and then his all-state quarterback Augustine leads his team right downfield, taking advantage of some one-on-one matchups at the back level.
Nice catch by Skanes to bring it down, but he will not get away. A very quick defense for Althoff. Once again, number 5 there is Bryson Strong.
Bryson Strong, 133 tackles, 10 sacks on the season. Just a nose for the football. Penalty marker down.
Talk about Strong. He's tenacious in games, practices, walkthroughs. Quote I really love from Ken Turner talking about Bryson Strong. He said, if he was on the other team, I would go up to him and shake his hand after a game.
Can't get a bigger compliment.
Remains first down.
Back it up 5 yards, 1st and 15 for Phillips.
So Phillips, an inauspicious start both offensively and then defensively. Penalty here puts them first down of 15, long field.
Skanes to keep it. Good pursuit, Skanes, those good wheels to the outside. He's run out of bounds by Isaiah Williams. He picks up 11, however, 11 of the 15 he needed for a first down. You fake the handoff to Mario Mosby with 2,200 yards, and you take it yourself with 1,300. And now again near the 40-yard line for Mosby. 10 yards on that run and a first down for the Wildcats.
Well, when you get 10 yards, move the sticks, and that's your season average. That's a pretty good sign. A little bit of zone read action on the outside. Nice wrap up for the tackle by Edwin Brown, the corner.
And another big hole here for Mosby. He cuts it out, and only the tackle by Williams prevents him from going a long way. 14 on that carry. Here they come in chunks of 10, 12, and 14.
Well, you got that kind of speed when you get to the first level, good things happen. You get to the second level, and there's not help. You get to the back level of the defense, and you can hit a home run anytime if you're Phillips with the speed that they have.
Ball in Althoff territory. About 4 yards on that first down carry by Kamari Mosby, 5'10", 184-pound junior. Young man who wants the ball, according to his coach right there, Troy McAllister. Here on a cold night in DeKalb.
Phillips only trailed one time all year against Simeon in week 3, set by 7 points, trailing by 7 now.
That was a game that saw the Wildcats come back to win 29-18 and really established themselves in their own eyes as a team to beat. Here's Gaines, he's gone. He'll walk it on in, 41-yard run for Quavon Gaines.
And that's what we had talked about 2 plays ago. You get to the first level because of blocking, get to the second level. If you get an extra half, you get to the third level with that kind of explosiveness to the back end of the defense. There's no one here. Look at the fake handoff on the jet. Following a block of big old number 36, his teammate Chris Elmore. And then he just did the rest. He knew he was in about the 25, didn't he? He already knew he was in.
Isaac Osei for the extra point, and just like that, we are tied. So Phillips answers the Althoff score, a 41-yard run by Quavon Gaines. It's 7 apiece. Tomorrow, the IHSA State Football Championship games continue with the Class 5A through 8A championship games. Watch tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Visit csnchicago.com/IHSA for complete listings. Full day of football tomorrow, just as you have gotten here today. We are in our 4A game, tied at 7. Phillips last year got here, lost to Rochester 49-28. It was a lot of hype last year for Phillips. Being from the Chicago Public League, it's been a little bit calmer this year. Tough ball to catch for Jalen Bester, and he will go nowhere. Good pursuit for Phillips. We have a penalty flag down, a couple of them right there, as return was brought back by Anthony Davis. And a penalty will go against Phillips. Check that will go against Althoff, backing it up. Here we go.
Holding, receiving team number 8, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the first time the Crusaders touched the ball, they took it in, a 61-yard touchdown drive. This one would have to be longer. It would have to be 90, starting at their own 10.
Jordan Augustine said that one of his biggest assets is his pre-snap read. That means he's checking over the defense and knowing where he's going to anticipate the play going to on a pass.
Nice little move in the backfield by Bester. He'll get about 4 yards, and that will enable us to go down to the sidelines and Kelly Kroll.
We saw Jordan Augustine really work his way down the field that first time around, their first drive. But Coach Turner said that the biggest difference for him with this quarterback is his confidence. Now, this is a guy who had a knee injury his sophomore year, and even coming into weeks 4 and 5 this season, Coach Turner could tell wasn't really trusting himself, planning the feet, his decision making. So he actually opened up the quarterback position in week 5 of the season and didn't announce Phillips who the starter would be until Thursday. Now, indeed, Augustine won the position, but he said that in general has just turned things around for him this season, and I think we saw that confidence in that first drive down the field.
No doubt, Kelly. See a good picture of the brace on Augustine's knee, and he actually had knee problems on another occasion. So 2 times he gave up basketball to concentrate on football, stay away from any knee situation that he could on the hardwood, and it's paid off with this banner season he's had.
Now at 3rd and 6, Augustine will have to scramble on that knee. He reaches out to the yard line that will leave him about 2 yards short. He gets to the 18, needed to get to the 20. It will be 4th down.
So this play breaks down. Augustine tries to make something of it. That was a designed pass play. Once he faked the handoff, looking downfield, give coverage at the second at the deep level. Credit for Phillips, and they should get good field position here.
Jalen Bester, the punter. Not often you see your star running back, 5'9", 150, doing the punting. He has a 28.9 yard average. Low, and he gets a good roll that keeps on going. Nice little move to the 35 and the 40. And to the 50-yard line. Quavon Skanes. Kind of dangerous to pick it up, but Skanes has that confidence. 49-yard punt for Bester. He got about 20 of that on a couple of big hops.
So is there nothing Skanes doesn't do?
No, no. We may see him tonight, a receiver at running back. May see him a receiver at running back. Of course, we've seen him at quarterback. Wherever he can touch the ball. In fact, Troy McAllister said whenever he touches it, good things happen. We've already seen it with the 41-yard touchdown run to bring this to a 7-7 tie.
There's 2 guys right there in your picture. Number 9, Skanes, and number 6, Kamari Mosby, that can both do damage on every single touch.
Skanes. Stopped up middle. He once again stopped by Bryson Strong. Strong came into this game with an incredible 162 tackles, 9 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss, and he has already been in on several solos already.
When you can play in the opponent's backfield with that kind of ability at 5'11", 203 from the linebacker spot to split the gaps and make plays, that's a special kind of player.
Nothing doing. To the outside goes Mosby, but Chris Branson, the heart and soul of the defense, along with Strong. That time it'll be Branson with a tackle for a loss.
Althoff right now really playing the run, and why wouldn't you? Filling the box and bringing linebackers from the inside. I would think that they have a spy. What I mean by that is there is one, usually the middle linebacker, but he'll come sometimes from the boundary, sometimes from the field. They'll mix it up to spy the quarterback and go wherever he goes, almost man-to-man.
Illegal procedure with the penalty flag thrown right on the near sideline. That will go against the Phillips Wildcats.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
3rd down and 16 now.
Althoff's defensive coordinator, Austin Fraser, would be the man that would call that spy situation and have somebody following Skanes everywhere they go with his eyes. Again, what you have to do is try to disguise that. The offense is going to try to pick that up. The defense is going to try to bring him from different parts of the field. It's a chess match going on down there right now.
Again, this is not a team that likes to throw. They haven't needed to throw. And Skanes will look to run here. He'll be short of the 1st down, but it may be 4-down territory here. It'll be 4th down and about 4 yards to go for a 1st down.
See a picture of Skanes with gloves on both hands. Interesting, just a feel thing. Some quarterbacks love to have gloves on, and some just don't want any part of that.
After a 12-yard pickup from Skanes, it will be 4th and 4, and he looks to that near sidelines for his offensive call, Ken Turner. On the Althoff side, his defense has played well here in the early going.
So we're going to 4th down once already.
A timeout call by Phillips just before the snap of that ball. So the Wildcats say, let's get this one right with the ball at the 41-yard line. Phillips last year got here by virtue of wins in the semifinal to send them only the second team in history to get to the state championship game from Chicago publicly, losing to Rochester by a score of 49-28. And you see their progression from 2012 to 2013. Geneseo eliminated them a couple of years ago, avenged that here this season with the win in the quarterfinals. But a program that's growing, and Troy McAllister said it's the Chicago Public League football that's growing as well. And he said one of the things that has kind of leveled the playing field is the technology that's out there now that's available, specifically Huddle, the film exchange program, the way you can scout your opponents. And that man right there from Ontario, Canada, has done the job.
And I'm sure he can break down some film with the best of them, hours and hours putting in a game plan. And there's no doubt that technology has changed athletics in general. There's now programs that basically can cut down every single play that you want to who runs the ball, to who receives the ball. It's just incredible.
4th and 4. Skanes will look to get the outside. He'll never get there because Bryson Strong just rips him down. What a first quarter Strong has hit.
Bryson Strong is dominating defensively at the line of scrimmage. He's just finding seams in the defense, and I gotta believe he's the guy that's doing most of the spying right there. His job is to follow Quavon Skanes wherever he might go. He's done a good job of that. I believe that's his 3rd tackle for loss already in this football game.
5'11", 203 pounds, and just a junior. And so the Crusaders to take over after stopping Phillips on downs. Augustine to the 40-yard line, and another great catch again by C.J. Golden. He had the touchdown catch moments ago. He picks up 16 on this one.
We had a big 20-yard touchdown run to start the second half. He's long, he's athletic. Look at those arms. They go down to almost to his knees. He can make plays on both sides of the ball. And you see the sleight of hand and laying out for the ball after a decent throw by Augustine, but his receiver does the rest.
Colden, another one of those basketball players, along with Jordan Goodwin. Marcus Ferguson. There's a short gain just inside the 40-yard line.
Pretty good start for Augustine. See his numbers, 71 yards and a touchdown already. He's only misfired once. His receivers have done a good job, A, getting free, and B, finishing catches with solid hands. You got to have soft hands to catch the ball and then finish the catch with strong hands. Bring it into your body.
Spinning to his left and is throwing that away. He was in trouble. Great pursuit there in that defensive line of Phillips. Give credit to Devin Jones and Bear Watts, Chris Elmore, Malcolm Fox, Xavier Nash, and others.
Well, this is a great play. I know it sounds crazy by Augustine. Watch, he spins away from the traffic, and now the cerebral play. That's why I call it great. He gets out of the tackle box so they can throw it away, not take a sack, and not take an intentional grounding call. So a very good play throwing that ball away by Augustine, a heady quarterback who knows how to manage a game.
Over the middle it goes. Holding the catch, and a sure tackle there from number 23, Dexter Warren. Warren, a big star in a semifinal win over Marengo. A couple of interceptions, one for a touchdown. 6-yard gain will leave Althoff about 2 yards short, but we'll have to wait to the second quarter to see how this 4th down will play out. A couple of early scores. C.J. Colden, a 9-yard touchdown pass. Quavon Skanes, that's the end of his 41-yard pass. We go to the second, tied with 7. These IHSA football championships are brought to you by Country Financial. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get to where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com. We start the second quarter with Kelly Kroll and Mark Lindo. I'm Dave Bernhardt, tied at 7. Althoff quickly over the middle, and Augustine off the hands of Goodwin.
Fifth target for Goodwin, and why not? He's been Johnny on the spot for the previous, 3 catches that he has on the football game. Or 2 for him. C.J. Colden has 3. Augustine runs a 4.67 40-yard dash, so the quarterback can also run in the open field.
So each team has stopped the other on downs. Get a good look at Jordan Goodwin. What a game he had in that win over Rochester. 11 catches for 128 yards, and that was the 46-42 win over the Rockets. Mosby bounces to the outside, looks for a crease. He found it at midfield, at the 40, and down inside Althoff territory, wrestled to the ground by C.J. Colden. Jamari Mosby with 31 yards on that run.
There's one of those explosives we talked about. You see they're lined up in a pistol formation. The old shotgun was 7 yards back. A pistol's 5 yards back. An inside handoff. He sees his vision to the inside, nothing going. Bounces to the outside, picks up a nice block from his wide receiver, Donald Gardner, and his Billy does the rest.
He gets it again. Not as much this time. Count the number of white jerseys around Kamari Mosby, led by number 50, Chris Branson.
Phillips has a big physical offensive line. They like to run the zone read. Zone blocking means they're pushing the defense down one direction or the other. The read means the quarterback decides when and if he's going to hand the ball off.
That time Skanes keeps it. Quavon Skanes will give the Wildcats the lead. His second touchdown run of the game. First one from 41, this from 31 yards out.
We talked about explosive plays being more than 20 yards. You just described 2 of them. We had just described a zone read, and you're going to see a perfect example of it right here. Look at it. The last decision he makes is to find the ball, the seam in the middle of the defense. He takes the ball away from his running back as he sees a defensive end crashing down, keeps it himself, and takes it for a house call.
Osei right down the middle and a 14-7 Phillips lead. Quavon Skanes, 2 scores. He has already rushed for 34 touchdowns this year, and his team leads by 7.
Welcome back. Quavon Skanes has his Wildcats in front here in the 4A state finals, 14-7. This is a guy that Coach McAllister said was a soft-spoken kid, just led by example most of the time. Captain last year, a 3.7 GPA. He is sharp on and off the field, and I love this. Says he takes care of everything in his life. But this year, really, guys, he says he's really stepped up and become more of a vocal leader, and when he speaks, everybody on this team listens. That's the kind of leadership he has within this group, and certainly is leading them right now.
Indeed, Kelly, thank you very much. As the kickoff, you saw a line drive shot will actually give Althoff pretty good field position.
You know, Kelly talks about Skanes' 3.7 GPA. I believe they have 19 seniors at Phillips High School, and all 19 on time to graduate, and outstanding academics stressed by Coach McAllister.
So now Althoff will play a little catch up, and they're going to go backwards. The handoff taken by Bester, but he is driven back. Number 34, Amir Watts, 6'2", 260, a senior, originally committed to Western Michigan University. There is Watts.
Yeah, just a little bit of draw play, never developed. And Watts gets there first, but then a couple more hats on the football, team football. And that's a pretty physical specimen, 6'2", 260, and can move both vertically and laterally. Look at Phillips stuff in the box right now, showing blitz.
Augustine delivers, making the catch and going down was Keenan Young. He is the 4th of the 4 basketball starters we were talking about before. Goodwin, Ferguson, C.J. Colden, the others.
Quick release shown right there by Augustine. His offensive lineman, Chris Leshikar, says we only need to give Jordan 3 seconds to get rid of the football. That one was released at about 2.8.
That is Chris Elmore on the ground for Phillips. He 146 tackles, 11 sacks, and 22 tackles for loss. So they will attend to Chris Elmore, and it's a 14-7 Phillips lead. Back at Husky Stadium on the campus of Northern Illinois University, the odd years find us here in DeKalb. The even years, we are back at the University of Illinois in Champaign, and we are in an injury delay right now. Chris Elmore went down on that last play, just now rising up. Elmore, one of the leading tacklers on this team, and he is not feeling so well right now.
Very gingerly keeping the weight off the right leg.
A lot of support right there for the junior. That would be a big loss if he is unable to return.
We alluded to the fact that they only need to give Augustine less than 3 seconds to throw the football. Althoff's offensive line is not very big. You think of the big uglies up front usually being, big, tall, strong guys. They only go about 5'10" across from tackle to tackle. See the offensive line there, but very cerebral group. Their GPA is 3.67 as a unit, so they know what they're doing up front in their assignments.
Augustine with time. Has his man. It is close to a first down. Should be enough for a first down. And he completes it to Tarkus Ferguson. He's a 6'4" senior, a gain of 10.
Ferguson will go to UIC as a basketball player. They have, as we mentioned, 4 wide receivers that were on the basketball team. All of them talented athletes. So they get on the gridiron, they get on the hardwood, and any experience you have as an athlete helps you from one sport to another.
And here with only about 2 minutes gone in the second quarter, each of those 4 people you were talking about have caught at least one pass here tonight. And that one is batted away. Boy, the tight coverage that time by Donald Gardner. He was all over Tarkus Ferguson, maybe a bit too much for Althoff fans.
Well, what has happened is Althoff has gone consistently 7, 8 times on skinny post patterns, everything going to the inside. They fake the jet sweep, they go to the inside again. Gardner got his right hand in there at the last second, but they have things set up to go in a kind of post corner if they want to run that route and try to throw deep for a home run ball here one of these plays very soon.
On the ground to Bester. Bester will get about 6.
Well, they went 2 by 2 wide, 2 wide outs, 2 slots, 2 by 2 formation, spread things out. Bester took that ball to the inside off tackle, used his vision, didn't like what he saw, tried to create something to the outside, and a very solid 6-yard pickup as you described.
That brings Malik Easley back into the game. He'll stand just to the left hip of Augustine. That ball is running free, and Phillips will have it. The fumble recovery by Malcolm Fox.
Malcolm Fox makes a very smart play. They knock the ball out of the hands, and Fox wants to scoop and score, but instead, at discretion of the better part of Valor, just makes sure that he comes up with the football.
Well, Phillips the ball in a 1-touchdown lead. A ball stripped away by Amir Watts. Recovery to Fox.
We talked in the open about how important turnovers were when you have 2 omnipotent offenses is who can take care of the ball.
Kamari Mosby can't get to that outside. Speed of the Althoff defense. Number 5, number 50, the middle linebackers. Strong and Branson, they're right there.
You talked about Amir Watts with the fumble cause. 31 tackles for loss. That's a whole bunch to go with. Over 128 tackles on the season. Just a big-time player. Stripped the quarterback from Augustine's backside, had no chance, and puts Phillips in position.
Loss of a couple of yards. To the right side, Mosby. Driven down again by Branson. For as much attention as the offense for Althoff has received, the defense has given up some points. They've given up some yards, but boy, you've got a couple of middle linebackers here in Bryson Strong and Chris Branson that are absolutely outstanding.
5'11", 230, and see him playing sideline to sideline. Good picture of him right there. A little bit out of breath right now, running all that way from sideline to sideline. But when you can come from the Mike position, the middle of the field, and take a speedster, whether it be Bester or Easley, either one of those guys, or run them down at the boundary, that's quite a bit of athleticism.
3rd and 10 here for the Wildcats. Gaines will look to create, flag thrown behind him, and he will go down. A loss of yardage on the play, and that location of the flag would indicate holding.
In this case, you would think you'd decline it and take the football.
Number 57, you saw Chris Stevens, man behind the play.
Holding, offense, number 57. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
It's a great shot of that infraction. And Althoff be happy to take the football with that stop they had.
C.J. Colden deep to receive this punt from Xavier Nash. There's Colden, number 21. Pretty good one here. This will float. This will roll, and into the end zone it will go. It will come out to the 20-yard line. So Phillips will get the ball at 7:05 to play here in the first half. They lead at 14-7. A couple of touchdown runs by Quavon Skanes. 41-yarder in the first quarter, 31-yard touchdown run here in the second. That's sandwiched around. Or 2 back-to-back runs. The first score of this game came on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Augustine to Colden for Althoff.
Althoff averaging 48 points a game on the season, but 53.5 in their playoff games. Only 7 on the board right now. Have to find something to get going consistently.
That one hops into Keenan Young.
So an adjustment right there by Althoff as they rolled the pocket. They've been going basically straight drop back, and you know, you've had some pressure from Phillips, including the strip, so they roll the pocket to the right on that particular play. So basically tipping your cap to Phillips' pass pressure that they've had early on in this game.
There you see Chris Elmore back in the ball game. Good to see. He was down for quite some time. Straight up the middle we go. Bester with that carry. Bester more the outside runner, easily a little bit more inside.
Not a lot of running seams thus far for Althoff. Bester 15 yards. And that's all. Augustine minus 11 with the sacks.
Phillips defense has only given up a total per game of 6.7 points. Augustine straight in the pocket over the middle, and he will find Keenan Young. If Augustine gets the ball in the vicinity, it's going to be caught.
Keenan Young, an excellent route runner, a strong physical receiver. This time creates separation at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they'll rule that pass incomplete, so Young did not get it. So it'll be 4th down. So rather than a 1st down, here's a good look at it. Kind of cradled it there. Ruled incomplete.
Another angle.
In any case, it will be Jalen Bester to punt. Skanes looking to return this one. Bester keeping it away from him the best he can. Skanes on a good open field tackle, and a great job by Jeremy Savannah. He gets that tackle after just a 30-yard punt, but good field position here for the Wildcats as we approach the midway point of the second quarter.
Boy, special teams so important. Savannah makes a one-on-one there on punt coverage. Just fundamentally sound, staying in his lane, getting down as a bullet guy. And just wraps up around the legs. Solid tackle.
We have a feeling for the Althoff defense. This is a big, big time in this ball game, trailing 14-7. Mosby will help that pile surge forward just a bit. See him running behind number 64, and the guards raking strong.
Althoff changed from a 3-4 defense to a 4-2. They want to be more in an attack mode. Good shot of Ken Turner, who coached with Hall of Famer Glenn Schott and played for East St. Louis Hall of Famer Bob Shannon. Learned a lot of life lessons from him and football lessons as well.
1988 East St. Louis grad. Gaines able to make something out of nothing, but he will be short of the first down. It will be third down and about 4 yards to go for a first down. Total yards in this game, Phillips 165, Althoff 97. All 165 yards for Phillips coming on the ground. Mosby will get the carry. First down and more. Kamari Mosby will take it near the 20-yard line. 22-yard run for Mosby on third down.
The explosive plays keep coming. Inside handoff, zone read. And once again, the secondary block at the point of attack. Chris Elmore, he's back. He makes a nice block at the second level. They get the second block at the second level by Elmore on a consistent basis. And his running back, Mosby, just read that block and cut it upfield.
Penalty appears to be going against the Crusaders.
Dead ball, encouragement, defense, number 50, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Pretty good situation to be in at the 15-yard line, 1st and 5.
Well, right now, Phillips has Althoff playing back on their heels. They're the aggressors right now, and they have not been able to stop this punishing running game.
It will continue with Mosby, but he has stood up. Number 4 in on the play, Christian Wills, defensive end, 6'1", 261-pound junior. As Ken Turner called him, he's a bull. Strongest kid in the program.
Mosby, good picture of him. 2,246 yards and counting coming in. 95 yards on the night here.
Looking for more. He's going to pass the 100-yard mark right there. First down, Wildcats.
Another inside zone, and once again he follows his teammate Elmore. And he actually puts a pretty good hit on the would-be tackler. That would be Jeremy Savannah. He had to pay to get the stop.
First and goal. Mosby again. Drives into the end zone. Touchdown, Kamari Mosby.
Just inside zone football there. Power right at you. Again, a double team the points at 1, 2, 3 gray hats leading Mosby into the end zone. He follows him and just pops out like a jack-in-the-box to the last second to find the end zone. Just lower body drive, and he knows how to get the ball into the end zone. And his guys love blocking for him. When you have 3 guys out in front of you, you know you can get the job done.
Scoring in this game was opened by Althoff in their opening drive to take a 7-0 lead. Since then, the next 3 scores have all come from the Phillips Wildcats. The last one from number 6 right there, Kamari Mosby. Mosby's touchdown run is 19th of the season. He had 281 yards rushing against Johnsburg in a second-round win. Here today, he's already up to 110. He's carried the ball 19 times for that touchdown. That drive, just 46 yards, only took 6 plays in a couple of minutes.
Well, he's turned in a season-long performance already in the first half tonight, the way he's been able to gain yards. He gains yards after contact. He gains yards in the open field. He gains yards at the second level. He just knows how to run the football. He's an outstanding athlete.
Now Althoff will look to answer. Jalen Bester along with Malik Easley. Deep for the Crusaders. Line drive kick. It will go to Bester. Bester, decent return out to the 33-yard line. Penalty flag thrown.
Good gap discipline, staying in the lanes for the coverage team of Phillips. Everybody staying where they belong. You stay in your lanes, bust up the blocking wedge. You have a chance to make special teams plays.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, 10-yard penalty. First down.
Penalties hurt Althoff in the first 2 games of the playoffs. Against Clinton in the first round, 11 penalties for 125 yards. And then in the win over Quincy Notre Dame, 17 penalties for 160 yards for the Crusaders.
The biggest storyline, we know that Jordan Augustine can throw the ball, but he's had to be one-dimensional. The rushing game just has not gotten into gear at all for Belleville Althoff.
Here comes that Phillips defense. Malcolm Fox, he had a fumble recovery early. This time he gets a sack.
Trying to roll out, but Phillips in his kitchen right there in the face mask in about 1.5 seconds. Look at the roll. At no time. He wanted to toss it back to Easley, but nothing. He did not have time. Good decision to tuck it away, take the sack, rather than try to make a play which would have been a possible turnover.
Augustine again under pressure. Well, as you said, offensive lineman Chris Leshikar said we only need to give Jordan Augustine 3 seconds. He's not getting it.
No, once again, it was Xavier Nash that time, but a little bit of help from my friends, as you're going to see 3 gray shirts in the backfield. Look at, there's 3 guys trying to block one. They still can't get it done. And who's in there? Chris Elmore. If he's not in your picture on offense, he's in your picture on defense. He is just a beast of a football player, number 36, but it was 55 who broke it up first. Nash.
3rd down and 22 yards to go for a first down. Over the middle, but right there is the defensive coverage on Goodwin. He was just grabbed a hold of by Malik Brown, who would not let go.
Well, and Malik Brown, what a great play, Dave, because what Phillips did is they brought the house. They brought 6. They brought linebackers, which leaves your free safety basically on an island by himself, and he was able to make the play. They complete the pass. They get the one-on-one matchup, and then when you have a free safety that can make tackles in space, you have a very special player, because you can take some chances up front with your front 7.
Bester kicking against a stiff wind. Hits it low, and it will just roll short of midfield. At the 48-yard line, Phillips in business with 1:40 to play and a 2-touchdown lead here in the first half.
Well, I think you could call this the most critical drive of this half. 21-7. Phillips with a chance to be the first Chicago Public League team to win a state championship. If they can punch another one before the half and extend this to a 3-score advantage, they would not only have momentum on the scoreboard, but they would have momentum going into the locker room. And that man, Troy McAllister, knows just that.
See there, all 3 of the scoring drives for Phillips have taken less than 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Skanes has 2 touchdown runs today. He'll be run out of bounds. Short gain there. Finally pushed out of bounds by Melvin Brock. Mosby with 110 yards tonight. Skanes with 93.
201 rush yards. Still in half number 1.
Those 2 have combined for all 3 touchdowns. To the air. Intended receiver down to Gardner, never had a chance.
Gardner, one of their top 3 receivers as far as catches made. He was going to be just a little split end screen, but Skanes quite clearly is short arm to that football. Tried to throw that before the play developed.
Gardner with 14 catches leads this team. Kadir Weatherly with 13 is number 2, the 3rd leading receiver in terms of receptions. That would be Quavon Skanes with 3.
Returns punts, returns kickoffs, throws the ball, runs the ball, catches the ball.
Looking for 8 yards here on first down. Room for Mosby. Kamari Mosby. Those quick wheels will take him across that first down stripe. He got 9 yards. He only needed 8.
Strong with a tackle, but not before that screen pass. Inside screen pass was set up pretty well. 2 blockers out in front of Mosby there. Strong makes the tackle. Who else? But not before the chains are moved.
Skanes cranking it up, letting it go downfield. Caught, touchdown! He laid it out there for Kadir Weatherly. A 36-yard touchdown pass from Quavon Skanes. That is his 13th touchdown pass of the season. Weatherly catches his 8th.
Well, Weatherly created separation. Althoff rushed just 3. So Skanes, look, he's got plenty of time surveying the defense, and he lays this one out. Nice air underneath it, and great concentration by Weatherly as he just created separation between he and C.J. Colin from about 3 or 4 yards separation. He caught that at the 5. Well thrown ball, nice pitch and catch, and a home run kind of play.
So now the Wildcats have scored 4 straight times after an opening 7-0 lead by Althoff.
Weatherly, a little guy, only goes 5'8", but he played big right there. And his quarterback, Skanes, going to find him in a hurry for a hug. Look at the eyes right there. You can see the eyes feeling the championship, and so do the fans here on a frigid night in DeKalb, but they're not cold, and neither is he.
Roy McAllister working those sidelines for Phillips. The Wildcats. 3 touchdown runs, then a touchdown catch. And on this last drive, it was 3rd down and 8. Quavon Skanes went to the air, short little pass to Mosby. He ends up getting 9 yards. That kept the drive alive and set it up for the big play, the long pass. A short one gets 9, the long one gets 36, and that equals 6 points for Phillips. A 28-7 lead for the Wildcats, and this ball will just creep into the end zone. Well, you said it just as that drive started, Mark. A drive that lasted all of 27 seconds. All 4 touchdown drives have taken less than 2 minutes and 7 seconds. We thought it was a crucial drive, a possible game-changing drive for Althoff.
Yeah, and they weren't able to get it done, and you don't think that Skanes is going to beat you too much with his arm. You mentioned he has 13 touchdown passes, but they are so run-oriented, and defenses are so locked in to stopping the run that you can get the big play out of their passing games, and they got one right there, and that's got to be at least 7 explosive plays, 20 yards or more for Phillips here in half number 1.
Time to play catch up, and not much time here in the half to do it. Goodwin will take that catch from Augustine. They will quickly get to the line. Crusaders have all 3 timeouts left. We're under a minute to play in the first half.
Press coverage now by Phillips. All the way across. We'll have one free safety about 15 yards deep.
Quick drop, quick release, and an incomplete pass. Looking for Bester out of the backfield. He was split out wide on that particular spread formation, and he will stay out there in the far right sideline. David Munson was all over Bester, and he's matched up with Bester once again here.
So now a little more separation. You see the cornerbacks off about 3 yards at the top of your screen, and pretty press coverage on the bottom. Linebackers helping the pass routes.
Augustine pulls it down, then he goes down. Amir Watts again in the backfield. Phillips may think about taking a timeout right here with 40 seconds to play in the half.
Well, he was being blocked by Sam Fitch, but it was no match. Amir Watts just too much speed and quickness. He spun to the inside. Fitch just couldn't. He hit his block and couldn't stay with it. 5'10", 226, but too much speed for that man right there at 6'2", 260, and good feet.
Phillips will take that timeout. They stop that clock with 40 seconds left. They will get the ball back. The last scoring drive of 27 seconds. They know they can strike in a hurry.
It's a well-coached, well-disciplined Phillips football team, and they are playing with a purpose, and you can sense it just by their body actions.
And they are playing with so much confidence. Last year, University of Illinois in his 4A championship game against Rochester, it was as you would expect. The eyes wide open. They came here with a whole different level of confidence coming into this game. And certainly playing with that now. Bester hits this one, a floater. Tough catch right there for Skanes, but now it will be 33 seconds left. Following a 27-yard punt. Ball will be near the 44-yard line.
Althoff coach Ken Turner said of Phillips, they play with extreme discipline. You can't get more of a compliment from an opposing coach when you talk about a football team that plays with discipline. That means knowing responsibilities, whether it's blocking, whether it's gap responsibilities, the defense, staying at home. And this is a Phillips football team that is in great rhythm and sync right now.
We'll have one timeout remaining. Skanes looking for it all, and that will just sail out of bounds. The wind got up underneath that one. He was looking once again for Weatherly. Here Weatherly, just 5 feet 8 inches tall. And only used up 6 seconds off the clock.
Right now, Althoff in a 3-4 defense, but they're playing their linebackers and, of course, their back level, their safeties and corners way back. With the speed and playmaking ability of Phillips, if they got some kind of underneath route and got the ball with some speed and space, they might be able to create a play in the open field.
The screen read perfectly. On the stop that time, it was Stephen Belt. Clock moving. Phillips has one more timeout. They look to see if they can beat this, running down with 4 with 3. They do get the snap off. Home run ball. Nobody there. But these teams will leave the field. Phillips, the 3-touchdown lead after C.J. Colden got a 9-yard pass. Jordan Augustine for the Althoff Crusaders midway through the first quarter. It has been all Wildcats. 4 straight scores, 2 touchdown runs from Skanes. Mosby added a run, and then the touchdown pass from Skanes to Kadir Weathersley, and that takes us to our 28-7 lead. Let's go to Kelly Kroll.
Thanks a lot. Well, Coach McAllister, after Althoff put up the first score of the game, you guys responded with 4 straight. Just describe how big of a difference now, whether it be momentum-wise or just a game changer, that last score was by Weatherly.
Definitely getting that last touchdown touchdown before the half was big, gave us an extra touchdown lead. We started a little slow, but we responded well. Had our struggles in the middle of the second quarter, but then the young men responded really, really well.
We've seen what Quavon's Canes can do offensively, but defensively, this Althoff squad up to this point has just been lights out. What are you guys doing so well to slow them down right now?
Our defense has been great all year. And when you get Amir Watts and Chris Elmore in the middle, you're going to get pressure on the quarterback. And our defensive secondary, they're coming out to play now. They're loving the man-to-man coverage, and that's what it's coming down to.
All right, Coach, a great first half. Good luck in the next half.
Thank you.
Guys, up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. You could hear that Canadian accent there a little bit, couldn't you, from Troy McAllister, and he'll confer with his assistant coaches. And as opposed to last year when it was a big win by Rochester in the 4A championship game, Phillips goes in the locker room with a 3-touchdown lead.
Back to a frigid DeKalb here, Northern Illinois University's Husky Stadium, the site of the IHSA 2015 football state finals and the Class 4A championship. Halfway through, Phillips on top 28-7. My lips not even moving because of how cold it is out here, but 28-7, Phillips over Althoff here at halftime. It has been a remarkable high school football season here across Illinois. We've seen some amazing talent across the field. We've even records, of course, broken, state titles being won this weekend. But in Lombard, there is one young lady who has put her name in the Illinois football history books, and our CSN Chuck Garfine has a story on this remarkable young woman.
At 5'5" and 140 pounds, Rebecca DeLuca Lane doesn't have the football physique you'd expect, but it's her determination that put her in the record books. She became the first female in Illinois high school history to score a touchdown when she recovered a fumble in the end zone.
I was very surprised. I was just thinking to myself, just go get it before the other people do it, and I just got it.
Next thing you know, we realized that she was on the bottom of the entire pile, and she wasn't letting go of the ball, and the referees were telling her, let go of her, and then she asked if it was a touchdown, and they said yeah, and she was doing the happy dance all the way back.
One guy let go of the ball. The other guy was still holding on to it, and he was cussing at me saying, you know, no, no, no. And I'm just thinking to myself, if I let this go, it's over. I'm not going to go back and play on Friday nights. So I was really surprised, and I was happy at the end.
It was kind of a unique situation for her to come out of the pile with it, but you know, we expect our players, if the ball's fumbled, to be able to get in and get on it. She was the right player in the right spot at the right time and was able to get in there with the boys and mix it up and get herself a touchdown.
The journey to put on the pads started last year when Rebecca's twin brother hurt his shoulder. She decided to honor him by playing for the Rams herself. It hasn't been the easiest road, but Rebecca's doing the best she can to win over her teammates.
Some of them think it's really cool that I'm doing a good job, and they help me with it. And then some of them are like, oh, girls can't play, they're terrible at it. But I tried my best to do whatever it takes to get there. You never give up in life. I mean, you try your best. If you don't succeed, try something else and see if you like it, and you'll succeed at all times.
And a great attitude to live by. Chuck Garfine, Comcast Sportsnet.
What an inspirational young woman. Chuck Garfine, thank you so much. One more time, a recap here. The Class 4A state title game, Phillips in front of Althoff, 28-7 at the half. We're going to take a quick timeout and then come back with all of the scores from today's game here in DeKalb. Stay with us here on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to the 2015 IHSA Football State Championships here in DeKalb, home of Northern Illinois University, and we have had some fantastic ball games today, wrapping up with our 4A championship game. As you see right here, Phillips in front of Althoff Catholic 28-7. Quavon Skanes has had quite a night so far for the Wildcats, and we'll see if the Crusaders can mount a comeback here in the second half. But let's go through today's games. Of course, Class 1A through 4A all being played here this Thanksgiving weekend. Arcola defeating Stark County 35-17 in the Class 1A championship game. Class 2A Tri-Valley defeating Auburn 41-8, quite a rout there, and it was a lot of the same in Class 3A as Bishop McNamara defeated Unity 50-7, and we are wrapping up the final half of day one here. Phillips in front of Althoff Catholic, but of course, a big Saturday coming your way as well if you haven't had enough football and just keep eating that food. I know you guys have at home. Class 5A Nazareth Academy gonna face off against Lincoln Way West in the 5A championship starting at 10 a.m. Then 6A to follow, scheduled right now for 1 p.m. Montini Catholic and Crete-Monee. 7A, Glenbard West versus Libertyville. That'll be our afternoon game leading into the final of the Class 1A through 8A championships. 8A Loyola Academy and Chicago Marist kicking off at 7 p.m. and that'll wrap up our weekend here of the 2015 IHSA Football Championships. It's a chilly one here, but they have been heating up the scoreboard. We'll have the second half and the final half of day one here coming up after the break.
Well, we suspect your day-long shopping spree has ended. We welcome you here to Northern Illinois University and Husky Stadium, where you see the halftime score. Phillips on top of Althoff 28-7. Mark, earlier today we saw dominating performances. I think for Phillips you have to say this is a flat-out impressive performance.
Well, they've done everything that you could do in both phases. Special teams hasn't been a factor, but offensively they've run the ball effectively. They've thrown a long ball to keep the defense honest, and they have put hats to the football defensively and created havoc, just obliterating Belleville Althoff's blocking schemes up front.
As we expected coming in, we have highlights for you through the first two quarters. First of all, it was all Althoff. Opening drive of the game, it was Jordan Augustine. He found C.J. Colden for that 9-yard touchdown pass, a 7-0 lead. As it turns out, that would be Althoff's only score, because here comes Quavon Skanes, 41 yards. He was just getting started.
Well, he had a little zone read there in the open field to see the nice cut, and he knew he was in the end zone from about 10 yards out. He knew he was going to find pay dirt.
And went for 31 yards, and this is what the defense has done tonight. You heard Amir Watts, Chris Elmore. Well, that's exactly what they've done.
Amir Watts, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks in the first half. That was one of them. That's a highlight film to queue up by itself.
This was the one turnover we've had today. It was recovered by Malcolm Fox. So the defense has been stout. The offense has done what they've done. Kamari Mosby, his touchdown run, this from 8 yards, made it a 21-7 game with 4 minutes left in the half.
3 gray shirts leading him into the end zone.
One more time with 1:13 left. Quavon Skanes to Kadir Weatherly. It's a 28-7 lead following that 36-yard touchdown pass. Jordan Augustine, that's been his type of night after that opening drive. Let's go downstairs to Kelly.
Jordan Augustine, a pretty good first half for him, but Coach, how do you get the run game going a little more to help him out?
Well, you know, we get the pass game going a little bit more. You know, they're beating us up front right now, and you know, they're sending more guys, and we're not getting our assignments down. So hopefully we work on this half, and hopefully we can come out and get him a little bit more time and open our run game a little more.
I'm sorry, you're losing your voice, but you're trekking through it. Thank you so much. Defensively, when it comes to guys like Quavon Skanes, how do you try and slow him down a little bit more this half?
You got to tackle well. You know, he's a good runner with the ball. You know, if you don't tackle well, we talked about it before the game, you know, he can make things happen like that. So we got to tackle well this half.
Did you sense the energy changing from your guys at halftime?
Yeah, but hopefully we can get it back. We get the ball right now. Hopefully we can put a score in and make it a ball game.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. There you go, Ken Turner trying to get his guys rolling as they trail 28-7 right now with 1/2 left to go here in the Class 4A state championships from DeKalb, Northern Illinois University. We'll see you back here for the second half in just a minute.
2 quarters left to be played here at Husky Stadium in DeKalb and Northern Illinois University. Here are your first half statistics in this one. Big numbers belonging to Phillips, 203 yards rushing. Now we should mention that in high school football, the negative yardage, that includes sacks as opposed to those you're either used to those numbers going off the passing game in the pros, but nevertheless, big time numbers for the Wildcats.
Well, winning recipe in a football game, run the ball and stop the run. Phillips 203 to -17. That's a storyline right there.
28-7, Phillips on top. They are 2 quarters away from making history. Last year, Phillips became the 2nd team ever from the Chicago Public League to make it to a state championship game. They have never won, and they have to go all the way back to 1982 when the only other chance for a CPS team.
Yeah, that was Robeson who didn't get the job done as far as the finish. And Phillips with a chance last year, as you mentioned, and a pretty doggone good chance here with 24 minutes to go in this one. Can they carry the banner back to Chicago?
Phillips and Althoff will now get their sides of the field all figured out. Althoff to get their hands on the ball first as IHSA has that ball teed up. He's perfect 4 for 4 on extra points here tonight. And it will be Bester and Easley deep for the Crusaders.
Phillips practices at Mandrick Park, so you know they don't have a field at their school. They have to find their way to practice. They do that to the tune of about 90 of them now.
Easley with the drop, and Phillips will recover. Malik Easley may have taken his eye off the ball for just a second. And on the recovery for Phillips, it is Anthony Davis.
And Anthony Davis just flat out sprints all the way downfield, not expecting anything but a turnover. Watch him just lay out for the ball. And he beats.
That was Malik Easley.
Yeah, he beats Easley right to the football there as he just lays out and slides over it and cradles it in.
The one thing that Althoff had going for them coming out of the locker room is they were going to get their hands on the football first. In fact, they did touch it first, but it's Phillips with possession of the ball. First play of this second half goes to Kamari Mosby, who in the first half had 19 carries for 110 yards. Quavon Skanes, 93 yards on 9 carries. And there are his numbers. Touchdown pass out of those 3 completions.
So you look, and you also look for touchdowns accounted for. Those are pretty good numbers for the UConn recruit.
Mosby again running behind Elmore, and all of a sudden it's closed quickly by Chris Branson, number 50.
That's his 8th tackle of the football game. Branson has been swarming to it. But Phillips right now with a chance for a dagger kind of score on its first possession of the second half.
Third down and 4.
Looking for 4 yards here on 3rd down. Mosby again, a good block. Mosby stretches. He has that first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 3. 10 yards on that pickup for Mosby.
Their pace picking up just a little bit. They're not cold. They had a 40-minute snow delay against Marengo last week, so this is nothing to them. Look at the strength of Mosby hanging on to the football.
Skanes will walk it in, his 3rd touchdown of the night. And the Wildcats take advantage of the opening fumble to start this second half, and they have pushed this lead to 34-7.
Well, points off turnovers, that's 14 right now. Great sleight of hand on the zone read. Skanes accounted for 5 touchdowns against Marengo, all in the first half last week. That's 4 touchdowns accounted for here tonight. That quarterback can put some points up on the board.
It is 35-7, a little over a minute in to the 3rd quarter. Phillips well on their way to making history. Skanes the run. Tuesday night, the Blackhawks hit home ice for a Central Divisional battle with the Minnesota Wild. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on CSN Chicago. Oh, some happy fans. They don't feel the weather right now because they look up at the scoreboard and they see their team on top, 35-7.
A couple takeaways led to scores. Running game been going, a long pass. And great defense has been a consistency tonight.
Right back to Easley. Fields this one cleanly. And he'll be brought down from behind. Good pursuit on the play by Phillips and Terrell Jones.
Well, Easley's a speedster, but he has not had many seams to run through. He and Young have combined for almost 2,300 yards rushing the football, and they just have not had very many opportunities tonight to have any opportunities to create big plays in space. There's been no space to run through at all.
Time to play catch-up now for Crusaders from Althoff. A couple of teams coming in here 13-0. They pitched that forward to Colden. That's just an incomplete pass. Colden caught the only score of the day for Althoff, 9-yard touchdown pass from Augustine. And you see Elmore again, Chris Elmore. He was helped off with an apparent ankle injury. Evidently got it all taped up because he's full speed right now. Second down and 10. And number 36, let me check my roster. Oh, Chris Elmore.
He'll be embedded in your head tonight. He's been all over the football field. Look at him nodding his head. He's, I know it. He's the flat out field. Those two guys can play, Watts and Elmore. They showed 6. They dropped one into coverage, but they still had enough pressure with 5 guys, one of them being Elmore, to knock that ball to the turf. And just a very physical defensive front 4/7. You count their linebackers for Phillips High School.
Althoff faced with, even here in the early in the second half, a must third down conversion. They're going to go deep looking for more, just a wee bit overthrown, but a flag is out after that pass intended for Keenan Young. On the coverage for Phillips was Kenneth Sanders.
Phillips really trying to confuse the blocking schemes by putting linebackers up in the gaps. It's up to Sam Fitch, the center 52 for Althoff, to call their blocking schemes, and he's had an awful lot of gray shirts to look at different gaps tonight.
Pass interference, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That is the 6th first down of the night for the Crusaders. Phillips with 11. See a little wrestling. Actually, that was David Munson that was on the coverage of Keenan Young. Decent field position now for the Crusaders. Bester goes backwards. Great penetration again. Watts and Elmore. And at this stage here in the third quarter, the way those two have been wreaking havoc in the backfield, I don't know what Ken Turner can do in terms of trying to put a stop to that.
Well, he comes in that time unblocked, and you would think, if anything, he'd be drawing double teams right now. When you have a guy like Elmore coming in unblocked, that's just a missed assignment up front by the Althoff blocking scheme. There's just too many gray shirts to block at one time right now for them. So much pressure up front.
Ferguson, the catch, the spin, and tagged about 5 different times. Tarkus Ferguson for just his second reception of the night. Still about 8 yards to go for a first down. Last time on third down, Crusaders picked it up by way of a penalty. Augustine runs right into trouble. Look to his right. a gray jersey, looked to his left, and down he went.
Well, Nash comes on an inside rush. He started out of the 3 technique, did a little twist, comes back to the middle. They didn't pick him up. Cleaning the thing up, of course, was Amir Watts. If there's a play to be made, he's around it, but Xavier Nash was the one that really busted up that block scheme.
Timeout called by the Crusaders on 4th down. Early in the 3rd quarter and a 35-7 lead for Phillips.
So when you have Nash coming from the defensive end position at 6'1", 235, and you have him twisting back to the middle, and the defensive end comes up the gut, that just shows the kind of speed he has, but good defensive schematics going on by Phillips right now.
So Phillips will just kind of wait out these last couple seconds. Gives us a chance to remind you that Monday night the Bulls return to the UC as they meet the Spurs for the first time this season. Coverage starts at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. So the Crusaders from Belleville Althoff use a timeout on 4th down in a punting situation. Bester has had a tough time tonight. Seems like he's been kicking against the wind all night. Once again, Skanes will smother that punt. That's 26 yards for Jalen Bester tonight. As we said, he came in averaging about 29 yards a kick.
222 yards of rushing offense for Phillips, negative 31, including those sacks that you mentioned for Althoff. So that is definitely the storyline of this game. And I don't know if Althoff, quite honestly, has enough time to try to run the football and regroup on that. And so right now, if you're Phillips, you can go ahead and tee off on Augustine, but Phillips has another chance offensively to extend this even more.
Colden will wrap up Mosby. C.J. Colden going both ways, just a junior. He'll be back. According to Ben Turner, he feels as if C.J. Colden's the best all-round player for Althoff. Complete package. Feels like he'll definitely be a Division I football player. And play will stop.
9th penalty of the football game. A lot of flags.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, remain 2nd down.
Second time tonight that Althoff has been flagged for that particular penalty. Very workable 2nd down now for Phillips. Signaled in after that hard count. Mosby knew he was in trouble in a hurry. You saw him just duck down. Chris Branson still found him. And Branson may get called for a little extra there at the end.
Maybe a bit of frustration by the leading tackler of the evening.
That is the call.
Chris Elmore liked it.
Personal foul, unnecessary enough for us. Number 50, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Take a look right at the end of the play after Mosby goes down. And that is worth 15 yards. So everything going the Wildcats' way.
See Elmore lining up right between tackle and guard there at the H-back position. He's basically lining up at H-back, and he's been the leader of this rushing attack. His block's a point of attack.
Right now, Phillips with that power running attack, putting points on the board and letting that clock run. Skanes fakes the handoff to Mosby. Comes to the outside, stays on his feet. Quavon Skanes, what a move! 36-yard touchdown run for Quavon Skanes.
Zone read with a stiff arm a la Walter Payton's old days involved. Watch the zone read. There's a fake handoff. He pulls it back at the last second, finds some space, and then he just shoves Jeremy Savannah right away from him and knows where the end zone's at. Second consecutive game. 5 touchdowns accounted for. That's 10 in 2 weeks if my math is good. That's quite an omnipotent offensive player.
4 on the ground, 1 in the air. Number 9, Quavon Skanes, has taken his team to a 42-7 lead with that move and another little, here we go, gone. Seems like a long time ago, in fact only 2 quarters ago, that Althoff had a 7-0 lead. Since then it's been all Phillips, it's been all Quavon Skanes. Number 9 right there in the middle of your frame. 36-yard touchdown run, his 4th of the day. Another short drive time-wise, minute 34 seconds.
Skanes 132 yards rushing, Mosby 130. That's quite the 1-2 punch, dynamic duo if you will.
This will scoot into the end zone as Skanes already with runs of 41 for a score, 31. The 3-yard run, this one goes for 36.
What a great stiff arm that was. And a little stop and go, a little juke action to beat Bester, the guy that had the final chance at him.
Quavon Skanes, you heard Kelly talking about him in terms of Troy McAllister saying he's a young man who takes care of everything in his life. Well, Phillips, of course, in a very tough neighborhood. As Troy McAllister said, the players have been through so much off the field. They face life and death struggles all the time. Quavon Skanes says, I don't even come outside unless I have to. That's tough, how tough it is where I live. I'm cautious. You have to be. He has been anything but cautious on this field here tonight, however.
Yeah, in order to get to school and earn his degree and play football, he has to go through 5 green line stops to get to school. So it's an effort for him just to get into that building, do his academic work, which he's a 3.7 student, and then excel in the classroom and on the football field as well.
He replaced Dwayne Collins, quarterback last year that was in this state championship game. There's a completion from Augustine to Goodwin. That's been his favorite receiver here tonight. Augustine to Goodwin, connected 6 times here this evening. That short 5-yarder will set up 3rd down. I'll check that. It'll be enough for a 1st down. They'll move those chains. Goodwin and Colden. You just may see them in Peoria again this year. 4 returning starters off that team that finished 2nd in Class 3A last year. That was just a 67-63 loss to St. Joe.
Greg Lee's got it going on the hardwood.
You know, and speaking of Lee and Ken Turner, they share these players, you know, the 4 basketball players, and it's a great cooperation between the 2 coaches. But how about the players? They'll be in a 7-on-7 game or tournament one day, come back and play summer basketball. Or sometimes it'll be, okay, we get done with football practice, let's go shoot.
And that's the way it normally is with 25 dates, both sports, and you have to have cooperation among players, among athletes, and you want to share athletes. Great athletic programs share athletes.
And that will be a 5-yard penalty going against the Crusaders.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remain 2nd down.
See, what Phillips is doing on just about every play is they have their front 4, a couple guys with their hands in the dirt, but they're on every play showing blitz. Now, they're not blitzing every play, but it's really confusing the blocking of Althoff. They don't know who's coming from where. Quite a bit of the time, the linebackers will drop into coverage, and they'll take turns, you know, blitzing in different gaps, whether the 1 technique between guard and center or the 3 technique between guard and tackle.
Augustine in trouble again. He's able to get rid of it. He'll find Goodwin. Goodwin comes up with it. driven out of bounds. Great job by Jordan Augustine to keep that play alive. Goodwin will get a number of yards that register on his jersey, 11.
Augustine 6'2", 180. We've talked about his passing prowess, but how about his escapability there? Have the sense to, spin out of trouble and still know where his receiver would be. Escapability right there. He spins away and knows where Goodwin's going to be on the crossing route.
Third down and 3. Up in the air, free ball falls to the turf. It'll be 4th and 3. Getting a hand on the ball was Craig Elmore.
Elmore's only 5'9". See a good look at number 25 there. But boy, he went vertical at that time, got his big left hand up and batted that ball to the turf. He actually batted up in the air where it could have been picked off for just a second. Then it hit the turf.
And the Crusaders here forced to go for it here. 4th down and 3. Just crossed through the midway point here in the 3rd quarter. Quick pass and incomplete to Colden, and Phillips will take over. Or the complexion of this game has changed. I mean, you think about that first possession of the game. Althoff takes it right down the field. They score. They're flying high, and a whole new tone that just has completely changed as this game has gone on, as you'd suspect with a 41-7 lead.
Well, they're again basically forced to become one-dimensional was Althoff. They've not been able to establish a running game from the get-go since the first drive, where they had some nice mix, and since then it's been basically 2nd and 3rd and long, which has allowed the Phillips defense to really tee off from a pass rush standpoint. Something to the tune of 4 sacks and about 7 tackles for loss tonight.
Not much room on the first play of this possession. Mosby with his 26th carry of the night.
Phillips offensive line averages 6'1", 265, and there's a great symmetry between, the skill positions, the quarterback and running back, and the offensive line. They feed off each other.
Skanes will keep it to the outside, and he'll be run out of bounds. Well, Kelly Krull, let's talk offensive line. Doesn't strike me as an offensive line type person, Kelly.
Really? Come on, guys. Anyway, Quavon Skanes will tell you, I'm sure he's done a tremendous job tonight, but none of what he's doing would be possible without this offensive line. And Coach went on about them earlier in the week with us, guys. They have 5 seniors on this O-line. It's where the biggest difference has been this season is his line play. Very physical, very strong. The center, of course, a junior, Darius Lee, the leader of this group, making all the calls out there, fixing their pass protection when it needs to be done. And he finished up by saying they're a very special, goofy group, but they're getting the job done, right?
Yeah, he did qualify that kinda by saying, well, aren't all offensive lines?
Yeah, offensive linemen got to hang out together because they're the only ones that understand each other.
Skanes shakes past one. Tried to stiff arm another, but Melvin Brock would have none of it this time. He picks up 10 on that carry. And we have a Wildcat down behind the play. Amir Watts on the offensive side. Watts, the 6'2", 260-pound senior with wheels.
Well, Skanes is only 6'1", 180. I mean, that's not a big stature, but he is very, very strong. Utilizes that stiff arm to his fullest advantage, and just very, very elusive there. He took what could have been a 2-yard loss on 4th down and short and turned into a 10-yard gain.
Have to wait till Watts gets off the field. There's Skanes' numbers: 13 carries, 141 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 throwing.
Second consecutive week that he had that line.
Talk about a big player coming up big in the big games.
They've been on a mission since last November.
Indeed.
They've been on a mission for a year.
a team that, quite frankly, they expected to be here, yet they haven't had the same level of expectations. Mosby jumps through, and he has those quick feet to take him inside the 10-yard line.
If anybody wants to know the definition of agility, you'll see it coming right into your living room here, because Mosby just plants his right foot right there. Plant, cut, back, vision, balance, agility, and a big pickup.
12 yards to be exact. Mosby gets that good block. Puts it a first down and goal. The carry this time went to Craig Elmore. Mosby came out of the ball game.
Nobody but Bryson Strong on that tackle. Mosley helps out as well, but that number 9's a marked man, though, for opposing defenses. But it's kind of like catch me if you can.
Right, I was going to say, what do you do?
You can scheme all you want, but you can't scheme or simulate his abilities.
Elmore staying in the backfield. Skanes to keep, Skanes to throw, and that's a bit too much. Disappearing out of sight momentarily, Jermaine Broadnax.
You know, David, it seems like an easy comment, but for Troy McAllister to take him from wide receiver and use his athletic ability to stretch a field that way and say, I'm going to get the ball in your hands more often. Just a great decision this summer.
Well, you know, and some people make a big deal out of when a running back takes a direct snap that they're running the Wildcat. Well, in effect, that's this offense.
He's running a Wildcat, exactly. When you have a quarterback like that, you're basically running a Wildcat. And what people need to understand about a Wildcat, when a quarterback can run, that gives you that numbers advantage. It gives you an extra blocker in front of him.
Mosby back in the game. And he's going to be yanked down. Back for a loss, Chris Branson. It will be 4th and goal from near the 10-yard line.
Mosby brought down by Chris Branson.
Looking to the near sideline as to how they would like to play this one. They may have to hurry. That play clock's starting to wind down a little bit as they get their substitutes in the game.
Nice for these quarterbacks to have that play clock in front of those. Most high school fields do not have that, and they have to wait for the back judge to show them the time.
Looking for it in the air. And that bounces in. It will give the ball back to Althoff.
Great job by Althoff with the defensive stand there. Had a couple stops in the backfield and then an incomplete pass, so tip your caps to Austin Frazier's defense playing hard on that particular drive, which was started with a short field for Phillips.
And they were looking for Weatherly. I don't know that that would have ever gotten there. The coverage was to Jeremy Savannah. Now the Crusaders will look to battle back from their own 10-yard line.
I love this 3-by-1 set. They have not been able to get the ball to the slot receiver on a consistent basis tonight.
Setting up over the middle, comes up well short of Tarkus Ferguson. This is an Althoff team that determined a couple of weeks ago that we were going to have a new champion in Class 4A when they knocked off Rochester 46-42. Came from behind. We're down by a couple of touchdowns. Ken Turner, proud moment. He said when the brackets came out, all the pairings came out, they knew they'd have to run into Rochester. They just hoped it was going to happen at home, and it did.
And he said, down here, meaning in the southern part of the state, you know everything goes through Rochester. Rochester being, of course, north of Althoff, but that's still considered that part of the state.
Off the hands of Ferguson. And a penalty flag. Could be a spot where there could be some pass interference. Ferguson was looking for it. Donald Gardner has a smile on his face. That's the call. Here it is again.
Pass interference, defense, number 1, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Donald Gardner at 6'1", 175, Division I recruit as a defensive back, just a little bit too tight there on Ferguson.
Wendell Phillips High School, the building that they go to was actually built in 1904. So that facility's been around a while. You didn't cover a game there, did you? 1904?
No, 06 I might have. Augustine on the run. That bounces in. Yeah, there have been some pretty famous people that have passed through those hallways.
Yeah, Nat King Cole would be one of those people. The Globetrotters were there, and Gwendolyn Brooks, who's had some an author, Pulitzer Prize winner. So there's been some outstanding individuals and some academicians, if you will, from Wendell Phillips High School.
Location of the high school is a long home run out of U.S. Cellular Field, the home of the Chicago White Sox. Did have to be really long, I got to tell you that. But right in that neighborhood of the city. Augustine spins out of trouble. Shakes one, can't shake two more. That ball is taken away by Amir Watts. Was that a clean strip? Touchdown, Phillips. Amir Watts, on all those spins, just took it right out of the hands of Jordan Augustine.
Persistent pursuit. Watch the bull rush right here. They just shove the defensive line right back, flush him out of the pocket, then it's just relentless. There's the strip that was caused by Xavier Nash, who's created havoc all night long, and following the play was Amir Watts, the third turnover, and that would be 20, maybe 21 points off turnovers for Wendell Phillips, as the big fella's gonna find the house. He loves it. Look at that. Don't get many chances if you're a defensive lineman like Amir Watts, but he got that scoop and score. Took it right through the front door.
What a night for that young man and for this entire Phillips team. It is 48-7. He was banged up a little while ago. He did the banging right here. Off the turf and into the zone.
And he was the one that just started the whole thing with his bull rush to begin with. He's the one that obliterated the blocking scheme. His teammates started to help him out, and then he is the beneficiary of that fumble, scoop, and score. Amir Watts, 6 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and a touchdown. They right now have 5 sacks and 6.5 TFLs. Does Chicago Phillips? Everyone talks about their offense. I think their defense wants a piece of the action as well.
Well, you know, and that's what that is the story. I mean, you're going to see 48 points on the board, but it's the 7 and it's the 0 since midway through the first quarter.
And it's 3 turnovers created, which are parlayed into 21 points.
Phillips fans on the near side of the field have been standing all night, partly to keep warm, but partly to show their support for this Wildcat team, who have not disappointed. That ball is trickling into the end zone, and a touchback. There have been some tough times back there trying to return kicks. The time it was Jalen Bester. And this clock now will run for the 3rd time today out of our 4 games. We have a running clock. We have a 40 or more point difference, in this case 41 points.
And that is absolutely astounding to me at a championship level. And let's call it as it is. Sometimes you see those in first-round games, and sometimes even second-round games, but very seldom do you see championship-level ball games with this kind of score differential.
And as confident as they may have been coming into this game and as comfortable, I don't believe that Troy McAllister and the Phillips Wildcats could have imagined that with under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, it would be a running clock. Little shovel pass to Keenan Young. Nothing is going right for the Crusaders. That time, it's Xavier Nash in the backfield.
Boy, he has had a heck of a football game, and we talked about him earlier. He plays from the defensive end. That time he comes from the boundary side and just makes a good individual stop. Gets a little bit of help late from his buddy Malcolm Fox, but the 2 bookends can converge on the quarterback for the sack.
Intended receiver once again was Young. Now we talked about how comfortable Phillips is this year. Last year at the University of Illinois, before the game, they went to warm up in the indoor facility. They were all padded up, helmets on. They looked over. Rochester had been there 5 straight years, just in some t-shirts, some shorts. And Phillips said, what do they know that we don't know? They took all that. 12 months later, they're back here in the state championship game, and they are just 12 minutes away from claiming a state championship. It'd be the first state championship in football ever in the Chicago Public League. After 3, Phillips 48, Althoff 7. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get to where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com. Augustine looking to go big to Young. First play of the 4th quarter will take it out beyond the 40-yard line. The Augustine-Young connection, one of the top passing combos in the state, goes for 28 yards.
Keenan Young, a physical receiver at 6'2", 223. You mentioned going to Jackson State, so a D1 player, excellent route runner, and a strong physical receiver with great hands and good eye vision right there to gather that ball in for the big strike.
Pocket collapsing, free ball. This one should be the Crusaders, though. Phillips will come up with it. Now, which way will our officials say? Nope, they're going to say that Althoff had it at the bottom of the pile. Say that Chris Leshikar will come away with it. Leshikar, the top-ranked student academically in his class with a 4.0 GPA. Kelly was talking about the offensive line for Phillips. How about the offensive line for Althoff? You mentioned, I believe, how they are short in terms of 5'10". Their offensive line coach, not the same sort of build. First of all, easily will get this carry.
No, their offensive line coach is Jake Campbell, who's a local guy for them. He played at Belleville East, Dave, and then Arkansas State. Now, they only go about 5'10", but when they look up to their coach, in this case, it's real because he's 6'7", 340 pounds, size 17 shoes. So you talk about looking up to your coach, they do just that.
Xavier Nash down on the field. We'll take a break. Phillips by 41 here in your 4A championship game. Xavier Nash helped off the field. Appeared to be in quite some pain, so he will come out. Clock running. Jordan Augustine trying to get his team into the end zone. Althoff got there first tonight. Since then, 48 straight points scored by Phillips. Across the middle, stripped away from Ferguson. And the Wildcats from Phillips will have it. Donald Gardner right there. The 4th turnover of the night by the Crusaders from Belleville, Althoff.
They went with a 3-by-1 triangle, set a little crossing pattern to the slot, the underneath guy. The catch, the nice strip, and the relentless pursuit of the basketball through Munson was the one with the big hit.
Don't give credit to the fumble recovery to Craig Elmore. And the ball will go back to Phillips.
It's a moot point with a running clock and a 48-7 score, but the previous 3 turnovers led directly to 21 points. And we talked about the open. Ball security tonight. Who would take care of it and who would be able to reap the benefits of taking the ball away?
Number 11, you see a quarterback, is the quarterback of the future. Quarterback of right now, Jabari Gibbs. And he will keep it. Gibbs will get to the 40-yard line. Gibbs was the man along with Skanes. They were wondering about the quarterback situation before everything worked out for Skanes, but Gibbs on his first carry in a championship game will gain 14 yards.
And he's a quarterback of the future, rushing the football this year, 37 carries, 353 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he averages 10.1 yards per carry as the backup quarterback. Are you kidding me?
Elmore, they're trying to strip it from him. He hangs on. Get about 5 yards.
42, Anthony Davis on the carry.
Make that Anthony Davis.
Number 2,
Saw Davis with the fumble recovery earlier. Avoids one man and just fights and drives and yanks a couple people with him.
And see his ability to hold on to the football, Davis, as they were trying to strip him, but he just used that forearm strength. That's an awful lot of bicep and tricep extension he did to hold on to that football.
Gibbs to keep it again. Gibbs just tripped up at about the 15-yard line.
Gibbs on the keeper.
Melvin Brock prevented a touchdown.
No way to simulate speed in space, and Gibbs finds himself a little bit of a seam right there. The fake handoff. Who else but big old number 36 Elmore leading things, and then speed in space. He does the rest as he's not able to win the race.
14 yards in his first carry, 22 in his second, Jabari Gibbs. Gibbs, good size, 6'1", 180.
377 yards of total offense and counting for Phillips.
And they will get a timeout as that play clock had wound down to 0. I had mentioned that at halftime that we had seen dominating performances in a couple of games earlier, but at halftime it was an impressive performance by Phillips. I'd like to amend that to say this has been another dominating performance, this time by the Wildcats from Wendell Phillips.
Well, we thought that the two ball games we had a chance to do at 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, 3A and 4. We thought McNamara from Kankakee, Bishop McNamara would be the favorite. They were. They dominated. We thought this game, quite honestly, was more evenly matched because you had two very powerful offenses, but Phillips has just imposed their will on both sides of the football, and the offensive line is just dominant. Defensive line has been disruptive. Linebackers have just scraped to the gaps, and they've clicked on every cylinder they have.
Big hit up the middle on the stick. It's Christian Wills. He's just a junior. Boy, this seems like in our 3A and 4A games with these teams that made it here, there's a lot of players coming back next year for all 4 of these teams that we've had tonight and this afternoon.
Well, because you're talking about established programs, and success perpetuates success, and you know, a guy like Augustine for Althoff, he said, you know, I've been playing organized football since I was 5 years old, and I've always dreamed about playing a state championship, so that's where it starts.
Get a good look at Gibbs. Good hard running up the middle again by Anthony Davis.
Davis again on the carry. Passed by Christian Wills.
This was a 7-7 ball game at the end of the first quarter. And then Skanes, Mosby, Weatherly touchdowns in a second. Skanes, and Watts touchdowns. Takes us to a 48-7 game.
Althoff scored first. It was just the second time in 14 games that Phillips and Troy McAllister had trailed. That's just unreal that they've been that dominant all year long. You talked about tonight, they've been dominant all year long.
Phillips will take another timeout here to prevent a delay of game. Comes with 5.5 to play. Big day tomorrow for you. 4 more games starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. So get a little rest. Come on back here. Make your way out as the larger schools come to play here at Northern Illinois University. Here's what's coming up tomorrow. Nazareth Academy takes on Lincoln Way West. Nazareth Academy, champs last year in 6A. They are in 5A this year. Lincoln Way West making their first appearance ever in a state championship ball game. Then a regular. Montini takes on Crete Monee. A couple of teams that have won some state championships in the last few years. What a great one setting up in 7A. Glenbard West and Libertyville will cap it off with Loyola Academy and Marist.
That's some special personnel going to be on the field all day tomorrow as well. You got some star power.
Gibbs trying to get through, not going to get there. It will be 4th down. About a yard to go for a first down. We'll make it 4th down and 2.
Phillips came into this game winning their 24 of their last 25. This will be 25 out of 26. And do you think they've now established themselves?
Yes. They are 5 minutes away from history. Troy McAllister so aware of that. Gains on the hold. Isaac Osei will attempt the field goal. Angle to the right. And the 50-point barrier has been crossed. It's 51-7 with that field goal. Points scored in the game. Rochester had it when? Last year. Against who? Phillips. Who has a new record? The Wildcats at 51.
Just entered the record book in their own right. And special teams contributes a little bit. And now it's 24 points off turnovers for Wendell Phillips High School tonight.
Well, 5 years ago, Phillips was Phillips High School, Wendell Phillips Academy, designated as a turnaround school by the Academy for Urban School Leadership. They were considered the second worst school in the state. And as we mentioned earlier, one of the worst football teams in America, in Chicago. And all of a sudden, it's a whole different story in a lot of different ways at that high school. Congratulations to all the folks at Wendell Phillips Academy for what they have done, not just here on the field, but what they have done in their school.
2010, 12 people tried out for the football team.
Just 5 years later, they're going to win a state championship and set history. Nobody will be able to take that away from them as being the first Chicago Public League school football team to win a state football championship. They're going to do it with a perfect 14-0 record.
What a 2-year run it's been, and what a building process culminated with the second place finish last year and the championship tonight. They're starting to celebrate already. There's still 4 minutes to go, but it's all over but the final play, basically.
Y'all see it?
I see you guys.
See players just making their way on the field as Phillips looking to get as many players in as possible. Just a little bit overthrown. Augustine for Ferguson. Well, it was always questioned, will a public league team ever win a state football championship? The answer is coming back pretty much a resounding no. It will never happen. But indeed, it will here tonight. The catch and a nifty little move. Keenan Young with the move, and he'll take it all the way down to the 40-yard line. Longest pass play of the night for Althoff. It goes for 33 yards.
Nice pitch and catch. He found a deep part of the zone. Well thrown ball. Good vision, crossing pattern, gets it over the linebacker in front of the safeties. They're playing their safeties deep.
And go, just again a wee bit overthrown to Ferguson. Last year, Sports Illustrated followed Phillips High School in their quest for a state championship to create history. Did not work out. I have a feeling you may see a little bit in SI about what happens here tonight.
Justifiably so. The success story that they've been, and accolades that they've done in the classroom.
Nice draw up the middle. Jalen Bester still on his feet. Bester takes 2 men to bring him down inside the 30-yard line following that 13-yard run.
Easily his best opportunity to show his running prowess. Both hands over the football, then takes a 360 spin. He'll hit a stiff arm, lower body drive. Good run, his best of the night. Arguably his first crease that he's had to create something with.
Picked off. 5th turnover of the night. That interception will go to Dexter Warren. And now the smiles can come out big time.
Playing center field, ball popped up. Warren, Johnny on the spot. Turnover number 5 as you called it. And we'll count down as Wendell Phillips starts to get excited.
And Troy McAllister gets drenched. And of course our officials say, get off the field, fellas. I think McAllister just saying, hey, just take a knee. Let's play this one out. We have to take a delay of game first.
Still first down.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine how cold that is, but how good it feels. And there it is. Here at Husky Stadium, history has been made.
Phillips Academy wins the Class 4 state championship. Phillips 51, Althoff 7.
There is a whole different level of elation here. Everybody that wins a state championship obviously feels great. This is different.
It's different because they made history, as you alluded to. It's been a vision, it's been a goal, it's been a drive to get to DeKalb. The drive to DeKalb culminated with a championship tonight. And these guys just did the unthinkable in an unthinkable fashion tonight. An incredible display of discipline and skill on both sides of the football.
As it says right there, Wendell Phillips, your 4A state champions. But for a lot of folks, this is a Chicago Public League championship. Congratulations to Phillips, 51-7 winners over Belleville Althoff. We'll come back, we'll hear from folks, we'll see the trophies. There's more coming up from DeKalb.
What a historic night for Chicago Phillips this evening. Joining me, head coach Troy Phillips. Just describe what it means to become the first Chicago Public League school to, in a moment, be hoisting up that hardware.
I think it's a long time coming. You look at the crowd, you look at our young men, it's really exciting. History was made tonight. Quavon was a huge part of it. He's been with us for 4 years, and he did everything for us tonight, and our defense was unstoppable.
Absolutely. You guys got so close last year, but describe how rewarding it's been now to have this group come back here and get the unfinished business done.
It makes everything that much more special because it was such a long offseason and a build-up. And the work that these guys put in is incredible. And it's a testament to who they are as young men and where we come as a program and a school. And I'm at a loss for words of how we're feeling right now.
Coach, congratulations to you. Enjoy this with your team tonight. We're going to bring in Quavon now. He mentioned you, mentioned this team, how rewarding it's been. You're shaking your head. What does this moment mean to you?
It means a lot, man. We worked hard in the offseason, like Coach said, and we just competed this game. We played hard till the game was over.
You seemed like you really put them on your back from the minute this game took on what it did. How determined were you to get this done tonight?
I was very determined, man. I worked hard for this moment. And I just came out and played hard, did what I had to do for the team.
Thank you so much, Quavon. Congratulations. Enjoy this. Guys, a very emotional Phillips squad right now, getting to do something no Chicago Public League school's ever done before.
Well, you saw joy, both understated and pure, and every bit of it deserved for both Troy McAllister, for Quavon Skanes, the entire Phillips high school football program.
Well, you know, with a 51-7 score, you think the emotion would have already taken place, 15, 20 minutes ago. But that emotion was at the present time. It was real. It was unpracticed. And they have done something. They're in uncharted waters. And they did that tonight in a 365-day calendar year is what they had waited for, and they finished it, as Kelly mentioned, tonight. Unfinished business no longer.
For Belleville Althoff, they have received their second place trophy and medals. It is the second place finish in the last 3 years. Finished second in Class 2A in 2012, 3 state championships at Belleville Althoff in 80, 89, and 90. Tonight they just ran into an offense that scored 51, but a defense that set the tone for the game.
Well, defense created 24 points off of 5 turnovers. The last one sealed the deal on the interception, creating havoc. They really mixed up their front 7 looks. They put people in the box. They backed people off. They did twists with their defensive ends. They just obliterated blocking schemes up front, played with low pad level, and played with speed, pride, and passion up front. That's where this game was won, along with the athleticism of one Quavon.
There he is, Quavon Skanes right next to Troy McAllister. He seemed to be pretty calm after getting that ice bucket tossed on him, but it was a historic win tonight for Phillips. Historic run for Rochester that was ended this year by Belleville Althoff, setting the stage for Phillips to put their name in the record books like no other ever will in the Chicago Public League. 51-7 winners. Again, Quavon Skanes 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, and it leads to a state title and right now a medal around his neck. Now tomorrow there's a whole day of football coming your way in a little over 12 hours actually, when Nazareth Academy will take on Lincoln Way West. Final medals around the captains. Everybody's going to get one, and the trophy's going to go back to Chicago. So congratulations to Phillips Academy. That is right, Amir Watts. That is yours. 51-7 your final. Phillips Wildcats winners, your 4th championship over Belleville Althoff. Congratulations on history.
Hey, got him on the trophy. You guys get him guys the trophy. Got it?
That trophy will be paraded. Maybe not kissed like it was by Bishop McNamara, but it will be paraded around, and an impressive performance tonight.
All around champions in every way, in the classroom, on the field, with sportsmanship, a complete game, and a program builder and identification of a champion.
Thanks for joining us for 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow coming your way. We've got 4 more state champions to crown in 5A and 8A. Thanks for joining us here from Husky Stadium on Comcast Sportsnet.